Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Rhonda Live Evangelist, also Evangelist Rhonda, and I'm so glad you're here. Look, we have been sharing all about my fitness journey, my half marathon experience. And so today I'm excited to get into the nitty and gritty of what my real routine was. I took away all the excuses, and so we're going to share my real routine. I have a couple of videos too I want to share of the process before the half marathon. I did the King's Runner 10K, and I'm gonna show y'all the video in just a minute. But when I tell you that this particular experience, it's all about the mind, and the mind is a powerful organ. Internally, it is so important. You know, the Bible speaks about how we should watch, what we think, and that we should think on things that are lovely, pure, true, that have good rapport. And so it's necessary to keep our mind on Jesus Christ. One of my good friends, every time we ended praise and worship rehearsal, she would say, "Now keep your mind on Jesus." This was in between worship rehearsal and then soundtrack and then the service. So shout out to Liddy. She would always say that. But the Bible even tells us, admonishes us to keep our mind stayed on Jesus. So the mind is powerful. Our thoughts can determine whether we succeed or fail. Our thoughts can determine whether we choose to pursue or don't pursue. Our thoughts literally have the ability to cast down something that is negative. We can even have the purest intentions, but if we think something negative, then sometimes our mind goes and warps the entire situation. We think the worst of the situation. So just like we have to be intentional with what we think, we also have to be intentional in what we speak. The world is so loud, and our minds, if we're not careful, if we don't practice the discipline of thinking thoughts that are pure, true, and lovely and good report, then all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, we find ourselves, our bodies doing the very things that we think about. If we think we can't do it, if we don't feel like doing it, then more than likely we're not going to do it. And we'll be stuck in the same places that we were in on last year. And so I'm all about positivity and moving you from the stuck place to the doing active place, the shifting of the mind, the shifting of perspective, to do what is necessary for your well-being, for God to be glorified in your life. So it was important for me to discipline my body and worship life. And I didn't realize how much I was going to be disciplined in my worship life through this experience. But things that I made up my mind about. Here are 4 things I made up my mind about. Number 1, stick to the plan to succeed. I knew that there was no way I can complete a 10K, no way I can complete a 13.1 mile run unless I stick to the plan. Number 2, I prioritized rest and recovery. And so when it was truly my rest day, I rested. When I was tired, I slept. I also was very intentional about what I fueled my body. Made sure I was eating the foods that would give me the energy to sustain a long distance run. And then I set a daily schedule. I have this thing that I do every Sunday, and maybe I'll just go live while I'm doing it one day, but I call it a Sunday reset. And I usually take time to write out the things that I have to do for the week, the goals that I want to achieve, and what workouts and food I'm going to eat. So Sunday reset, it has changed my life. So I set out a daily schedule, not the day of, but typically the day before or the week before. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays were my strength days. Those were days where I did circuits and I lifted. And on Tuesdays, I did a slower run. They call it conversational pace. Maybe it was like 3 miles, 5 miles, but it was conversational pace. Basically, I should be able to have a conversation while I am running or jogging or walking, I should not have my heart rate. My heart rate should not be at a level where I would feel uncomfortable. On Thursdays, I did a tempo run. Typically, I did my tempo run on treadmills, and a tempo run is basically, run maybe a quarter of a mile at a certain speed, and then you slow down and repeat that maybe 4 or 5 reps of doing that, and that helped get you faster. And then Saturdays were my long run days. So every single day, long runs were at least more than 5 miles on Saturdays. I knew it would take me longer, and I just wanted to not have to rush to be somewhere. And typically Saturdays were the days for that. So I would sit out my clothes the night before. I would look at the weather the night before to determine if I'm going to run outside or if I'm going to try to scramble for a treadmill. Typically, I prefer to run outside because I like the freshness of the day, and I didn't have to worry about being trying to get a treadmill or somebody waiting for me to finish my little run on the treadmill because I take a little longer. But I preferred outside running. So I would set up my clothes the night before, and I was always in bed by 8:30. And I made sure that by 8:30 I was not using any electronics. These are rhythms that I put in place to be successful. Um, my alarm typically rang at 4 o'clock. That was Monday through Saturday. And I typically would try to be in my prayer room 4:30. Alarms ring at 4. I try to be in my prayer room by 4:30. And then I am either running or working out by 5:30. I usually fix breakfast, or my husband, he has been fixing breakfast, and I would go to work at 7 a.m. I would log in for work. I'll pause and do like breakfast at 7:30. I usually had a snack at 9, lunch at 12:30, a snack at 2:30, dinner 5:30 to 6. And then the weekends, I used like Sunday mornings to sleep in a little bit because it was my rest day, recovery day. So we typically don't go to Sunday school until 9 o'clock, starts at 9:30. So I would sleep in a little bit on Sunday mornings. But the weekends we used to shop and or cook. Daraje during this time has found a passion for like cooking. And I love it, praise God. The crowd should be excited about that. Again, I'm going to pause because um, in the worshiper suite, starting the second week in June, I'm going to share the template for my routine. It is going to be in there for you guys. I'm going to share the meals that we're going to be eating for the next 8 weeks. I'm going to share the workouts we're going to be doing and daily mind shifts for you to be successful. So if you're hearing this video and you're trying to take notes, of course, take notes. But then if you want to level up, if you want to have a community and a coach to help you just during 8 weeks to shift your mind, to get some templates and some support every day, then you want to join the worshiper suite. So head over to my website, www.rhondalive.com. Of course, it's going to be linked in the comments below, the captions below, and you can click on it and be a part of this 8-week program. We'll do coaching sessions twice a month, June and July. And your investment is like $24 or something per month. And you get all of that for the next 2 months. I'm excited. I'm excited about some of you all that's going to take that opportunity. So I'm only doing it for a couple of people because I really want to make sure that there's impact and that I can really serve you all during these next weeks. So back to my routine. I know it sounded like a lot and it sounded very strategic, but can I be honest? I actually found joy in the discomfort. I found joy in the uncomfortable rhythms of preparation. Joy really does come from the ability to train for the race. It is the rhythms, it is the patterns, it is the discipline that really, truly built my confidence. Like, okay, I think this is a good place to share the video, but It was in the moments where I did not feel like it that discipline kicked in. If I went to bed late, I couldn't wake up early, so I had to adjust my workout. Many times we have to get over the insecurities and leave the excuses in yesterday and find joy in the unknown. So, let me show you a little bit. And this is like insecurities because look at your girl. I'm running. This was at the end of the 10K where I felt like, okay, I have nothing left. But here you go. check this out.
All right, I found them.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
All right, I found them.
Look, I was saying we almost there. We're almost there. But did y'all see me? I was running so slow, so tired, very over it. I didn't feel like it anymore. I was just like, you know what? Let's just be done with this.
All
Okay.
right, I found them.
Thank God for my husband and my amazing friend there. The beautiful sights were wonderful, but I was so over it. But the insecurity I had before I started was like, oh, you're so slow. You're going to look crazy. You don't have the right clothes to wear. But it did not matter because I made up in my mind that, hey, if you don't do something, then you're going to regret the person that you are when you turn 80. So I did something. I got out there and I got over the insecurities and I left the excuses in yesterday and I did what I needed to do. I want to show y'all another video, but I want to make sure I say this. So don't go off what you used to do. Don't go off that, but work through the fear by doing. Let me say that again. Don't make your decisions based off of what you used to do or what didn't work or what worked last time. But work through your fear, your insecurities by doing. I can't tell you how many times I wanted to stop running because I felt pain. But guess what? It went as I continued to run, the pain eventually went away. I can't tell you how many times I thought that what I was doing wasn't working. But when you cross that finish line, you get that medal or you finish that workout, your body releases endorphins and it makes you feel better. It made me feel better. When I work out in the morning, I have clear thoughts. I have a little more productive. I sleep better. I don't stay up wondering, thinking because I'm too tired. I'm too tired. Um, and it's just a wonderful thing. I want to tell you if you don't remember anything else, I want you to at least start a rhythm of what looks like success to you. And the beautiful thing about rhythms is it looks like success in different people. Like some people I know they can't work out in the mornings because they have too many responsibilities, but they still wake up early, do prayer, worship, get their meals together, and then they choose to work out during their lunch break or during their after everyone else in their family goes to bed. I want you to remember one thing, that you're just one decision away from becoming the person that you dream about. One decision away from being the person God created you to be. My routine was not perfect every day, but it was in the imperfections of still choosing to do parts of my routine where I saw great success. Having a routine is a great way to establish a rhythm for your life, and it is a great rhythm to set boundaries for those who are in your life. From my routine, I was clear about my purpose. I was clear about my goal. I gained so much peace about my life, and I let go of unnecessary expectations from other people. I let go of unnecessary obligations that the Lord was not wanting me to do but I was doing it because of people. And I love the person that he created. I love the person that he is creating me to be. And so perhaps you find yourself also feeling stuck in your fitness, feeling stuck in your worship. I want you to know that you do not have to do this alone. Come on and join the Worshiper Suite for 8 weeks of shifting our mind and choosing God, choosing to be better for our future selves. Look, there is nothing better than crossing the finish line and getting the reward of your success and rhythms. Check this out.
Thank you, friend. I got your last one. Let's go. We turned around the wrong way. I first met him.
How cool is that, y'all? How cool is that? So take time on Sunday, do your reset. What does a rhythm look like? Perfect rhythm day. And then what are your non-negotiables? What are your no excuses that even if I don't get a workout in, I'm going to pray. Even if I don't get the workout in, I'm going to eat right. That's still a win. That's still successful. Stop beating yourself up. Please stop beating yourself up and set some small wins for a huge success later. Now, I invite you again to the Worshiper Suite. And if you have any questions about my rhythm, if you have any questions or concerns about, getting over your own thoughts ahead. Sometimes we make up excuses, because we have pains in our bodies. But I also want to challenge you, even when I had pain in my body, if I could not do a certain thing on my legs, you can still do things in your arms. Come on here. You can still do things in your arms. There are plenty of seated workouts. So don't let that be your excuse. Definitely strive forward. Know that the joy is found in the uncomfortable places of our lives. That's when God truly, truly shines, when we're truly relying on Him, because it's not our strength. It's all for His glory and it's all for Him. Until next time, y'all be blessed. Thank you for joining. Hey, if you made it to this point, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe so I know that you were here. Talk to you.